I think this is the moment that she has finally realized everything's gone wrong.
Betrayal comes from someone that you have a relationship with, right? I don't feel comfortable talking about people.
Don't feel comfortable talking about people. The Queen of Daytime Television just delivered the most brutal public humiliation Meghan Markle has ever experienced. And the shockwaves are rippling through Hollywood faster than anyone anticipated. Oprah Winfrey, the woman who gave Harry and Meghan their golden platform to attack the royal family, just threw them under the bus in the most calculated way possible during her latest interview. But this isn't just about one offhand comment about their Sussex titles. This is about Oprah recognizing that she's been played by two master manipulators who have systematically destroyed every relationship they've ever had. The timing couldn't be more devastating for Meghan, who's already hemorrhaging money, losing celebrity allies, and watching her Hollywood dreams crumble in real time. What Oprah said will make you realize that even the most powerful woman in the media has finally seen through Meghan's carefully constructed facade. The mask is officially off, and what's underneath is uglier than anyone imagined. We've been waiting for this moment, and it's finally here. The woman who walked into Buckingham Palace thinking she could revolutionize a 1,000-year-old institution with her Hollywood sensibilities is now watching her carefully constructed empire crumble in the most satisfying way possible. Oprah's casual dismissal of Meghan's precious Sussex title during her Kelly Ripa podcast appearance wasn't just a slip of the tongue. It was a calculated public execution disguised as a light-hearted mispronunciation. The schadenfreude is absolutely delicious when you realize that Meghan spent years positioning herself as Oprah's spiritual successor, the biracial duchess who would bridge royal tradition with American progressivism. She sat in that carefully staged garden interview playing the victim while simultaneously trying to destroy the institution that gave her global relevance. But Hollywood operates on a simple principle. You're only as valuable as your last success. And Meghan's track record has been nothing but expensive failures. Mar doesn't have friends. She doesn't do friends. She does business contacts. That's why she had no one at her wedding. What makes this downfall so satisfying is how predictable it was for anyone paying attention. We saw through Meghan's act from day one, while mainstream media was still buying into her victim narrative. The celebrity departures didn't happen overnight. Were a systematic abandonment that started the moment her post-royal projects began failing. Ellen DeGeneres, who once defended Meghan publicly, quietly unfollowed her on social media in late 2023, no announcement, no explanation. Just a digital ghosting that spoke volumes. George and Amal Clooney, who attended the royal wedding and were positioned as Meghan's Hollywood validators, have maintained complete radio silence about their former friends for over 2 years now. The Beckham situation is particularly brutal because it exposes Meghan's paranoid and destructive personality. When Victoria and David Beckham were photographed at a royal event without acknowledging Harry and Meghan, Meghan's team reportedly accused them of leaking stories to the press. The Beckhams' response was swift. and permanent, complete social and professional excommunication. David Beckham, who had been one of Harry's closest friends, now treats the couple like they're radioactive. From what I'm told, Meghan Markle has been going through multiple stages of grief over the Netflix deal. Started with denial. It moved to desperation to change the situation with Ted Sarandos. Then it was anger. And we know what she gets like when she's mad. And now it is complete devastation. Because perhaps the most telling indicator of Meghan's falling status is her conspicuous absence from the Met Gala guest list for 3 consecutive years. This isn't about not being fashion-forward enough. Anna Wintour personally curates that list based on cultural relevance and influence. Meghan's exclusion is a direct message from the fashion establishment that she's no longer considered worth the investment. The same pattern emerged at the Oscars, where Meghan and Harry's attempts to position themselves as industry players have been met with polite but firm rejection. They're not invited to the exclusive after-parties. Their names don't appear on VIP lists. And when they do show up to events, they're treated with the kind of professional courtesy reserved for has-beens trying to relive their glory days. The most satisfying aspect of this downfall is watching the financial reality crush Meghan's delusions of grandeur. Every celebrity rejection directly impacts her earning potential in ways that her accountants are probably explaining to her in increasingly desperate terms. When Netflix executives see that Oprah won't even properly pronounce Meghan's title, they understand that the royal fairy tale they paid millions for has officially expired. It's the end of Meghan Markle's Hollywood dreams as her and Prince Harry flame out of Hollywood. Brand partnerships are evaporating faster than her friendships. The luxury fashion houses that once lined up to dress her for events are now quietly declining styling requests. Her American Riviera Orchard products sit unsold, not because of quality issues, but because her celebrity endorsement network has completely collapsed. What makes Meghan's celebrity abandonment so poetically just is how perfectly it mirrors her own treatment of people who were inconvenient to her narrative. She ghosted Jessica Malrin the moment their friendship became a liability. Despite Jessica sacrificing her own career to defend Meghan countless times, she cut off her entire family, including her father, who paid for her education and supported her acting dreams. Meghan taught Hollywood exactly how she operates through her own behavior. Relationships are transactional. Loyalty is conditional, and people become disposable the moment they're no longer useful. Now she's experiencing the receiving end of her own philosophy. And the irony is absolutely perfect. She ghosts folk when she no longer needs to get something from them. So yes, absolutely. The likes of Serena Williams were not friends. Oprah was never friends. Gayle King, they were never friends. These are contacts, and they are contacts to further the career of Meghan. The internet's response to Oprah's Sussex X moment has been a masterclass in collective satisfaction. TikTok compilations of the clip have gone viral, not because it's particularly funny, but because it represents a Moment of public validation for everyone who saw through Meghan's act from the beginning. The comment sections are filled with people celebrating what they see as overdue accountability. Royal watchers who were dismissed as haters for years are now being vindicated as their predictions about Meghan's behavior patterns prove accurate. The body language experts who analyze the cooling relationship between Oprah and Meghan over the past 2 years are having their assessments confirmed in real time. What we're witnessing isn't just one celebrity mocking another. It's a fundamental shift in Hollywood power dynamics. Oprah's casual dismissal signals to the entire entertainment industry that the Sussex brand is no longer worth protecting. When the most powerful woman in the media stops caring about your feelings, everyone else gets permission to do the same. This moment represents the end of Meghan's ability to play the victim card effectively. She can't claim arism or schism when the woman abandoning her is Oprah Winfrey, someone whose cultural authority on matters of discrimination is unquestionable. She can't cry about media persecution when her own chosen mentor is the one delivering the most cutting dismissal. The beautiful irony is that Meghan spent so much time positioning herself as Oprah's successor that she never considered what would happen when Oprah decided she was no longer worth the investment. Now she's learning that in Hollywood there's no such thing as permanent loyalty. Only permanent consequences for those who mistake attention for respect. You must never trust the mainstream media who have been saying for months and months, no, 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 no. You want to know how Hollywood really works behind the carefully orchestrated public appearances and manufactured friendships? Oprah's strategic distancing from Meghan Markle is a masterclass in industry power dynamics that reveals exactly how the entertainment elite operate when cameras aren't rolling. This isn't about personal feelings or friendship betrayal. This is about cold, calculated business decisions made by someone who didn't become America's most powerful media figure by accident. What most people don't understand is that Oprah has perfected the art of celebrity disposal over decades of building her empire. Her treatment of Meghan follows the exact same playbook she used with Lance Armstrong, James Fry, and countless other figures who became liabilities to her brand. The process is methodical, strategic, and absolutely ruthless in its efficiency. First comes the gradual reduction in public support. Oprah stops mentioning Meghan in interviews. Her social media interactions become less frequent and invitations to private events mysteriously dry up. Then comes the strategic silence. When asked about Meghan directly, Oprah's responses become diplomatically vague rather than enthusiastically supportive. Finally comes the public dismissal delivered with just enough plausible deniability to avoid looking vindictive while sending a clear message to the industry. The Sussex X mispronunciation wasn't accidental. It was a calculated signal to Hollywood that Meghan is no longer under Oprah's protection. Industry insiders recognize this language immediately. When Oprah stops caring about your feelings, it's a green light for everyone else to follow suit. America's not in love with them anymore. The United Kingdom certainly are not. is this. Here's what the mainstream media won't tell you about how talent agencies really operate when dealing with toxic clients. CAA, WME, and UTA have internal protocols for managing celebrities whose associations could damage other more valuable clients. These agencies literally maintain lists of figures their A-list talent should avoid being photographed with or publicly supporting. Sources within these agencies reveal that Meghan and Harry have been quietly placed on what's internally called the association risk list. This means agents actively advise their high-profile clients to avoid professional collaborations, social media interactions, or even friendly public exchanges with the Sussex brand. The list isn't official policy. It's worse than that. It's an understood industry practice that operates through whispered conversations and strategic scheduling that ensures important people are never in the same room as potential liabilities. The financial implications are staggering. When you're on this unofficial blacklist, it doesn't just affect direct partnerships. It creates a ripple effect that impacts everything from event invitations to casual social interactions. Other celebrities, publicists start advising against photo opportunities. Charity organizers become reluctant to seat you at prestigious tables, and party planners develop mysterious scheduling conflicts when your team reaches out. The truth about Meghan's Montecito social isolation is far more brutal than her carefully crafted public image suggests. While she presents herself as a beloved neighbor, living her best life, industry sources paint a very different picture of how she's actually perceived by the ultra-wealthy community she desperately wants to join. Montecito operates on old money principles and established social hierarchies that don't recognize Hollywood celebrity as automatic entry into their exclusive circles. The tech billionaires, entertainment mogul, and generational wealthy families who actually control the area's social scene view Meghan as nouveau riche desperation disguised as royal sophistication. Hollywood is distancing itself from Meghan Markle. You can see it before your very eyes. She's toxic. The exclusive charity galas, private dinner parties, and intimate social gatherings that define real influence in Montecito systematically exclude the Sussexes. 1 longtime resident described it perfectly. She keeps trying to buy her way into a community that values discretion above everything else, while she built her entire brand on public disclosure and victimhood. The disconnect is painful to watch. Behind closed doors at Netflix headquarters, executives are engaged in what sources describe as full-scale damage assessment regarding their Sussex partnership. The streaming giant invested heavily in the royal connection, but they're now facing the reality that their most high-profile talent has become a liability that other celebrities actively avoid associating with. Internal viewership data reveals that Meghan's solo projects consistently underperform compared to content featuring other personalities.